like we told you, PM Modi is in Kuwait. That is right. After 43 years, we see an Indian premier in Kuwait. That means that there has been a big push coming in between relations between India and Kuwait. We see that also PM Modi addressed the Indian diaspora and he got a very warm welcome. PM Modi is there on a 2-day visit and he has been invited by the Kuwaiti Emir. Here's a report highlighting what's happened so far, what PM Modi told the Indian diaspora and what can we expect in the next few hours.
भारत माता की, भारत माता की। नमस्कार। आज निजी रूप से मेरे लिए ये पल बहुत खास है। 43 इयर्स के बाद भारत का कोई प्रधानमंत्री कुवैत आया है। आपको हिंदुस्तान से यहां आना है तो 4 घंटे लगते हैं, प्रधानमंत्री को 4 दशक लग गए।
Prime Minister Modi is on a 2-day visit to Kuwait.
Because of you, the Indians are so proud. You make us proud. You take India to the high level.
He is the first Indian Prime Minister in 43 years to visit Kuwait. While addressing Hala Modi event, he hailed India's achievement overseas.
आज का भारत एक नए मिजाज के साथ आगे बढ़ रहा है। आज भारत दुनिया की 5वीं सबसे बड़ी इकोनॉमी है। आज दुनिया का नंबर 1 फिनटेक इकोसिस्टम भारत में है। आज दुनिया का 3रा सबसे बड़ा स्टार्टअप इकोसिस्टम भारत में है। आज भारत दुनिया का 2रा सबसे बड़ा मोबाइल निर्माता देश है।
Speaking about the partnership between the two countries, Prime Minister Modi addressed the need for skill, innovation, technology and manpower. He highlighted how India is working towards providing that in partnership with countries like Kuwait as well as other nations like Italy.
भारत और कुवैत का रिश्ता सभ्यताओं का है, सागर का है, स्नेह का है, व्यापार कारोबार का है। भारत और कुवैत अरब सागर के 2 किनारों पर बसे। हमें सिर्फ डिप्लोमेसी ने ही नहीं बल्कि दिलों ने आपस में जोड़ा है।
Prime Minister Modi spoke about India's digital forward movement. He said that India has become digitally smart and this is only the beginning.
आज भारत दुनिया के सबसे डिजिटल कनेक्टेड देशों में से एक है। डॉक्यूमेंट्स रखने के लिए लोगों के पास डिजी लॉकर है। एयरपोर्ट पर सीमलेस ट्रैवल के लिए लोगों के पास डिजी यात्रा है। टोल बूथ पर समय बचाने के लिए लोगों के पास फास्टैग है। भारत लगातार डिजिटली स्मार्ट हो रहा है और ये तो अभी शुरुआत है।
Ending his speech, he invited the Indian diaspora to attend the Mahakumbh.
मैं आप सभी को विकसित भारत के संकल्प से जुड़ने के लिए आमंत्रित करता हूं। नए साल का पहला महीना 2025 का जनवरी इस बार अनेक राष्ट्रीय उत्सवों का महीना होने वाला है। प्रयागराज में आप महाकुंभ में शामिल होने के लिए प्रयागराज पधारिए। ये 13 जनवरी से 26 फरवरी तक चलने वाला है, करीब 1.5 महीना। 26 जनवरी को आप गणतंत्र दिवस देखकर ही वापस लौटिए।
He also met the Indian diaspora in Kuwait, which has immensely contributed to strengthening the bonds of friendship between the two nations. Prime Minister Modi also shared a heartfelt meeting with 101-year-old Mangal Sen Handa, a former Indian Foreign Service officer. Reports say that discussions are underway with Kuwait on a bilateral investment treaty and a defence cooperation pact. On day 2 of his itinerary, Prime Minister is scheduled to meet the Emir, the Crown Prince and the Prime Minister of Kuwait.
All right, let's go straight across to our guest joining us live. Geopolitical analyst Pathikrit Pine join us live right now, and I want to go across to you. Thank you for joining us, Pathikrit Pine. Now, I just want to ask you one question. The first question is, and we saw that entire address, a bit of the address that he made to the Indian diaspora, where he says, in the entire address, somewhere he had said that India has the skill for the new Kuwait. And do you think that Kuwait has finally recognized that India has the right skill for Kuwait, given the fact we have seen that there has been a warming up of ties between India and Kuwait, especially when we see PM Modi visiting there, the first premier to do so in 43 years' time?
Good morning, Shivangi. Yes, you are absolutely right. There are few things I wanted to say initially. Number one, Kuwait might be a small but a very influential country in the Middle East. And if you look at the spectrum of India's working, workforce in Kuwait, which is the Indian population is almost like 21% of the total population of Kuwait, 30% of the total workforce of Kuwait is of Indian origin. And majority of those workforce are not laborers. They are actually skilled professionals who have, got opportunities in Kuwait. As you rightly mentioned, if you look at it from this perspective, many countries like Kuwait in the Middle East are trying to diversify their economy beyond their dependence on the fuel economy or, the crude oil economy that they have. So in that case, whether you talk about telecommunication, whether you talk about other areas, including artificial intelligence or technology related areas, I think Indian workforce does play a critical role. Also, the fact that the Prime Minister has scheduled to visit the labor, camps where the workers actually stay, for mostly who are into construction works, actually also, highlights and focus on the fact that India is very much concerned and cares about the Indian diaspora who go there to work in difficult and harsh conditions, and they send back the remittance. We must understand over the last 10 years, Prime Minister Modi has played a critical role in terms of, leveraging India's expatriate population as an extended arm of India's foreign policy, as an extended arm of India's foreign office. So they play a very critical role for India, not just in terms of remittance, but also in terms of enhancing India's influence and culture. So Kuwait might be a small country in terms of size and GDP in Middle East, but it's a very influential country in Middle East. Over the last 10 years, if you see whether it is Saudi Arab, whether it is United Arab Emirates, whether it is Bahrain or Kuwait, these countries have fundamentally altered their perspective towards India. They do not look at India merely as a country from which blue-collar workers come. They look at India as a source for technology, as a source for skilled professionals, and as a country which is today recognized as the 5th largest economy of the world, one of the major tech startup hubs of the world, and a country which has shown that it has the capacity to manufacture at a global scale, whether it's vaccines or other things, and give it to the world when they require it desperately. So there is absolutely no doubt that Prime Minister Modi has played a critical role in altering the perspective about India, and also, as you rightly mentioned, countries like Kuwait do recognize today that for the future, it is not just the blue-collar workers. They would require professional workers, high-tech workers, and the only country which has the capacity to embed traditions, technology together is India. And last but not the least, Indians who go there to work, the Indian diaspora, are some of the most, apolitical and, peaceful people. They go and they just do their work. They do not get involved in any kind of unsocial activities, anti-national activities, anti-social activities. So you would see across the world, including in the Middle East, people actually respect the Indian workers who go there. And invariably, Prime Minister Modi also has played his part in terms of enhancing their stature over there. Back to you, Shiva.
All right. Thank you for joining us. Patrick Pine joining us, geopolitical analyst, getting us a fresh perspective on the visit of Prime Minister Modi in Kuwait. We'll be tracking the story very closely. We have to move ahead right now because we're getting some more breaking updates coming in.